have to talk about Bitsie is the fact that Nick cheated on Juliet, but he didn't really know he did.
Yeah.
But she's still really upset. Now, here's the thing. We almost had the same thing happen between Juliet and the captain.
I know, and I asked for forgiveness and I got it. And so I feel like Juliet is gonna have to be understanding. But that's a pretty serious thing because Juliet did not bone the captain, and he boned Adeline. So we're talking slightly different.
What about Bitsie and Sasha?
I just brought that up. You know, if you're going to participate, you have to come over here.
Yeah, I think it's going to be tricky to get over that. I think any situation like that, when somebody's actually having sex with somebody else, it's sort of hard to look past that. It feels like, I would imagine, just the ultimate betrayal, really being cheated on. But again, if he didn't know what he was doing, just like Juliet had no power over what was going on with Renard.
Right. So do you see that that's going to happen, or is it going to be another one of those slow burning things that we slowly see happen?
I don't see that happening really quickly because that's if that feels like that's a pretty big plot point between Nick and Juliet now going forward, is how she's going to sort of react and whether or not she even wants to. I mean, as she was saying in the finale, she's like, I don't know if I can do this anymore. It's too much. Yeah. It's too much. That's a really big deal. It's one thing when you have an ogre breaking into your house, but it's another thing when now your man is having sex with somebody else and he doesn't know it. Yeah.
Well, that's understandable. So this is kind of an unusual one, but not that important in the scheme of things. But had somebody ask, why did they have you go back to your natural hair color?
I actually asked to go back to my natural hair color because my hair is very, very dark, and in order to get it red, they had to peroxide my hair, and after 2.5 years of doing that, my hair just was getting really, really damaged, and it was trying to look damaged on camera.
Yeah.
So I asked if I could just go back to my normal hair color.
It was interesting that they didn't address it in any way.
Well, you know what we did? We did it slowly.
Yeah.
Actually, we sort of started going darker over the course of a couple months so that it wouldn't be too shocking for the fans. And there's still some red, but by the time I start filming again in July, it's going to be completely dark brown like mine.
Interesting. So, which episode of Grimm so far has been your favorite to do?
I really, really loved the episode halfway through season 3 where Alicia Logano, who was playing my friend Juliet's friend Alicia, she comes in, and it was a lot of really heavy material, and it was great. And so I loved the scene where I got to beat up her husband. That was really fun, and I also just thought the relationship stuff was great. I thought there were two. I think it was episode 9 and 10, and they were both really well written. I thought Alicia did a fantastic job.
Do you think there's any chance that they'll bring her back and show Juliet having another actual normal friend?
I hope so, because Alicia Logano only did 2 episodes, but she really nailed it, and she was sympathetic, and by the end of episode 10, she was kind of getting in there and throwing punches too. So I would love for them to bring her back.
If you could play a different character on the show, who would you play?
Nick? No, let me think. I think Rosalie has a really sweet, cute, just sort of, very tender character. I guess I would pick Rosalie. Although it was very fun playing Adeline too, and having, getting to play evil, because Juliet never really has played evil before. So that was very fun for me as an actress.
Yeah, and you did do an amazing job.
Thank you.
So. Now, another interesting relationship twist that happened in the last season was the addition of Trouble. Mm-hmm. Suddenly, Nick is bringing home someone to live in your house, and she's not unattractive.
Yeah.
There was definitely some hesitation on Juliet's part.
I don't think Juliet was ever really jealous of her because she's so much younger than Nick anyway.
True.
I think it was more just like, for the love of God, Adeline and your mom just left, and now you're bringing home somebody else. I mean, give me a break. Because now,
you know about the unspoken sex scene between
I'm going to throw my phone at you.
They wrote it for off camera. I mean, we didn't do it. But
What?
okay, yeah.
Nuh-uh, that'd be so gross. You guys are related.
That would be gross, but listen.
Stranger things have happened. Yeah, I don't think it was so much about her being sort of threatened by trouble as much as just like, please, I need some peace and quiet.
Makes sense, especially after what's going to happen right now. Doesn't seem like she's going to be going anywhere because now Nick is going to need her even more.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I know Jacqueline's for sure doing quite a few of the first episodes in season 4.
Great. I'm sure many people are going to like that. So one of the other things that you've been able to build on, especially in this last season, is the friendship between Juliet and Rosalie. How are you liking that, and can you see anything getting more complicated?
I don't know that there are, the only thing that's complicated about that relationship is that I'm Rosalie's only friend, really.
Yeah.
So I think sometimes she feels a little bit aloof or maybe a little bit uncomfortable with the whole girly stuff. But that's so fun because Bree's one of my best friends, and she and I have just gotten closer and closer as we've been up in Portland together, and we always love the scenes when it's the two of us. We had a blast shooting the webisodes, the Valentine's Day webisodes, where it was just the two of us, and we were being goofy and ad-libbing, and we always have so much fun shooting together.
That's great. So here's another unusual question. Do you yourself believe in the supernatural?
Do I believe in the supernatural?
Ghosts, anything like that?
I wouldn't rule it out. I don't know that it's something I really think about. I've certainly had moments where, the hair stands up on the back of my neck, but I don't know that I guess I've gotten spooked.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Let's see. I took a bunch of questions from fans, and then now I'm trying to think of anything else. You might know this, because it was actually brought to my mind when I was hearing David talk about the very first episode. In the last season, I believe it was second or third episode when he's got his extra zombie powers, he has a running scene where he's running in a red hoodie. Mm-hmm. Was that supposed to be an homage to the first?
I'm for sure they generally don't do stuff like that unless it's it's very cheeky, but a lot of the time you'll see if there's a hotel room being established, it's often that episode number, so 309. Yeah. If it's season 3 episode 9. So there's just little things like that they like to kind of put in there or make the fans wonder, and sometimes they don't mean anything at all. Like, I don't think that the red hoodie was really intended to be he's going to be a target or anything like that. I think it was just kind of for fun for the fans.
Yeah. So who's the biggest jokester on set? I've heard there are quite a few different.
Who's the biggest jokester on set? I mean, I pulled off the biggest prank last season.
Oh, really?
Which was David was my target, but Jacqueline. There's a lot of jumping out from behind trailers and doors to scare people. David sort of started it with some of the PAs, and then I thought it was really funny, so now I'll hide behind my trailer door and jump out and scare them. But now the PAs do it to us too. There's been foam on handles, and he put some raw bacon into my high heel as I was putting my foot back in. So then the big prank I played on him was payback, because I was on set in bare feet, switching out from my Uggs back into my high heels, and he had shoved a bunch of raw bacon in. Yeah, it was pretty gross.
So can you talk about what you did to him, or?
He had, in a nutshell, he had just gotten a new car, and I managed to stage it so that it looked like his car keys were inside, and he just locked himself out and couldn't get in. But I had basically switched because we drive the same kind of car. So it was just funny to watch it happen, because he was, just kind of like all excited about the new car, and then he couldn't get in, and yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm getting ready for the next section.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
For sure.